or not. That's my only concern.
I doubt it. But anyway,
I doubt
let's
it too.
move on to Sweet Baby.
Ooh, baby.
We got like 10 minutes to talk about it. Or 10 to 15 minutes anyway.
I'll be right back.
And he's gone. Really, Chad? Now's the time to leave? Let's bring this up real quick.
Random tip of the day. Equipping a knife will increase your run speed.
Alrighty then. You heard it there first. Random tip of the day. But yeah, the plot thickens on Sweet Baby, which I can't believe there are people who didn't see this coming,
Zia?
considering how much we've talked about this kind of stuff for years. What?
He was right.
Who was right? Who?
I
Oh.
ran a lot quicker just now.
Got a butter knife. Watch it, everybody. He is now in violation of some kind of law in Europe.
I'm about to butter your bread, boy.
Like, I'm pretty sure you're in violation of some law in the EU right now.
Good.
Just by having that. But the plot thickens because apparently Sweet Baby is like a subsidiary of some kind of thing like called Ghost Baby or something, and then it has another thing called Ghost something that subsidizes that, which is full of those woke morons from Gamergate era people.
I was not aware of this.
Not aware of what?
The subsidiary part.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I forgot to bring it all up because I didn't put it all in the thing.
Shame.
Yeah.
Everything.
Anyway,
right.
So you know how deep it goes?
How deep?
Who remembers the guy? I can't remember his name. I think he was the Canadian guy who killed himself after Zoe's thing.
Yeah, Zoe Quinn's like boyfriend or something. Not boyfriend, but yeah.
Well, his sister is the one operating these other organizations.
Oh, shit.
Which is funding things like Sweet Baby.
What?
Yeah. Pretty much using what he, amassed in his time as a, developer and stuff like that to fund a thing. What the hell was it called?
So is this Gamergate Part 2, basically, then?
Yeah, this is legitimately
Gamergate 2.0 for
2.0
sure.
at this point.
But I'm confused. Why would she help those that killed her brother?
Zoe Quinn.
Mm-hmm. There it is, ghostbaby.com. I think this is it.
Wait, this doesn't make any sense.
Is that it? No, I don't think that's it. Can't find that thing. But yeah, it's deep. Who owns Ghost Baby? Ghost Baby. Nope, that's a different thing. Damn it. I need another search engine.
Called Ghost Baby?
I believe that's what it was called. You have Brave. Use it.
I'm on it.
Because the one I'm bringing up is a hospitality thing. But I've been doing some digging. I just don't have the stuff up. Yeah, this might be. So apparently, one of the founding companies behind Sweet Baby Inc. was found by Ellen Hulawakwa. I can't remember how to say that, but baby ghosts. That's what it is. Okay, sorry, not ghost baby, but baby ghosts. They have these weird names. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
But that still doesn't answer why would the sister of the dude that committed suicide help those that drove her brother to suicide? Was she in on it?
they have the same values,
The plot
politically
thickens.
aligned. But anyway, Baby Ghost, which is a subsidiary of Weird Ghosts, apparently, is a funding program for underrepresented groups of game development in Canada. So basically, it is the ESG's grift that is helping fund the ESG grift in Sweet Baby Inc.
Oh, so okay.
From, yeah. But one of the founders of Baby Ghost's parent company is none other than a former Night in the Woods developer.
Oh shit.
Uh,
That was actually a pretty good game.
but the co-founder of Baby Ghost is the sister of the late Night in the Woods developer Alec Holowak. I still can't say his name. Alec, that's what his name was, though. But it's his sister. And of course, GD veterans will remember Alec because Zoe drove him to suicide. But
Which
those
in
who aren't
America
familiar
would
with the
be
story, he was driven to suicide by his ex, none other than Zoe Quinn.
which fun fact in America would be murder.
Yeah, well,
I wish.
it's medically assisted suicide, I think, in Canada.
No, small. No, if it were here, it would have been murder.
Well, it's happened here before, and it has
It's a hard
never.
thing to
It's hard to
prove.
prove, but it depends on how it comes out.
And that's why
But
it's that's
yeah,
why it's bullshit that it isn't like murder off the bat. Fucking held
Well,
in jail.
but yeah, that's how deep this
That kind of
goes.
shit.
That's why I was making posts the past few days every so often talking about a Gamergate 2.0, by the way.
yeah,
I
no,
just hadn't gotten around to talking to you about it because we've been busy.
yeah, no, holy shit. But well, no, I've been keeping up too, and I've seen where everybody's like, "This is Gamergate 2.0, isn't it?" And I'm like,
But yeah, and
"Yeah,
it
it is,
was
isn't it?"
really confirmed when you had multiple journalists writing, their gamers are dead articles, but instead defending Sweet Baby Inc.
Yeah, no, a lot of them were doing that. Where basically, I think it was like Kotaku, PC Gamer, were ignoring the harassment campaign against the Brazilian dude. They totally cut that part out,
Oh
but
yeah.
then they like started the story where the backlash happened against the Sweet Baby Inc.
But yeah, to top all that off the failures, by the way, as a side note, PlayStation is issuing refunds for Suicide Squad. Um, so that's happened. That's just a footnote in all of this.
How
But yeah,
bad do
I
you
think
have
what's
to
really
mess up?
interesting is I saw a dev defending this right here, I think.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
Now,
Oh fuck.
that was done at a GDC conference a few years ago. That is the co-founder of Sweet Baby Inc., Kim.
You,
And
you know,
I saw a female dev defending this, and I'm like, in no context can you twist this into the way you're twisting it in your multi-tweet reply to
you know
somebody
what's dis-
posting this.
you know what's disturbing about this? She
Hmm.
said this in public, and she
Yeah.
felt totally okay to do that, and felt there would be no problem doing that. There should have immediately been calls for her to never work in the industry again, not from us gamers, but from her fellow people in the industry going, she's out of her fucking mind. Get
Well,
her out of here.
that's the thing. At this time, the industry was compromised. We know this. We've seen the feminist grift. We've seen the GG grift at this point in time.
Good point.
It wasn't just in the journalist department, but it was in the game developing department. You know, whether it was Blizzard, Activision, EA, or any of these, they had gained a foothold in these areas, and we talked about it. You know, things aren't right. You know, they should be like, you know, this isn't it. But what she's talking about is you're saying, hey, we need consultants on this to make sure we don't offend anybody. The higher ups are like, what? No, you don't need consultants. So then you go to the marketing team and scare them shitless of the thousands of prods on Twitter who are going to suddenly start kicking up a shitstorm if you don't change that white lady into a black lady or whatever, right?
And they don't know how to identify the difference between a human and a bot / call center worker.
Yeah. And we're finally to the point where they won that fight, right? You know, these marketing guys people are like, "Oh shit, we've got to do something." So then they go back to the boss and say, hey, look, we learned about this, this, and this, and we need to probably bring in another group to come in and make sure we're all in the up and up. So they've essentially created a problem using the devs as a proxy who like their particular ideology to then create a problem where a problem never existed. So then
And
they
that,
can come in and screw it. And it's weird because I saw that one dev falling on the sword for Sweet Baby. I don't remember what the hell her name was, and but it's just like these people, they're on your writing credits as as a lead writer, and you're going to write a 15,000-page paper under this tweet about how they have absolutely zero control in the creative department for your game. They're just consultants, but they're out here talking about how they're the reason X, Y, and Z happened. And they're in your fucking credits as the lead fucking writer for your fucking game that they apparently had no involvement in.
you can't
Why are
say
you
yes.
trying to fall on the sword for that?
Yeah, you can't talk out both sides of your mouth like that.
So what you're telling me, if she for whatever sees this for any reason, but what you're telling me is not only are you incompetent and need to be fired, but so do they.
Yeah.
They need new people in there because you apparently had either all the control and made it happen yourself, so you need to go, or you gave the conceded control to them, so they wound up with writing credits in your credit screen. It still need to go.
Here's the thing with all of this: you're either maliciously complicit or incompetently complicit. Either way, you're complicit, and bye.
And every time you look into these people's past, they're fucking racists. So
Yeah.
it's a wonder why there's some kind of rot. But
And
yeah, like you've got things like this. I think this is Kotaku, by the way.
yep, Kotaku.
Coming out with their article. They don't do what you think, what some gamers think it does. No, bitch, they fucking told us they fucking did it. They had it written everywhere, and they're in the fucking credits of fucking games. They do exactly what we think they fucking do. The problem is you're too fucking stupid to realize we actually know how to read and we can count beyond 10 with our fingers. Well, I'm debatable on that matter, but you know, and they still are going out with this shit. And all I can think of when I saw the several articles doing this was, remember back in 2014, 2015, when suddenly 20 some articles of gamers are dead and they're not your target audience came out?
Yep.
Yeah, what happened to a lot of those companies again? Oh yeah, I think they laid off or are completely ceasing to exist at this point.
I started playing indie
BuzzFeed
games.
News is gone. What was the recent one that just left? I can't remember what the hell its name was, but it's gone. There's so many other companies that are just completely up and gone because, again, you told your customer base, the people you should be catering to, they're not. Because the people you want to cater to, guess what? Don't fucking give a shit.
And I'll tell you this: when all this kicked off, and I seen how fucked up the main AAA industry was getting, I was like, you know what? Over there, right over there, are these things called indie developers, and they're making some damn good games that are better than yours. So I'm just going to go over there where there's not a lot of politics. There's a little, but not much. And
Shit.
yeah, AAA can die. I don't care, because when AAA dies, indie will rise, and it is. It already is. So
And in another twist, real quick, Sweet Baby Ink Detector, which is a group you can follow on Steam to identify, like you would if you were looking for de novo or other things in games that Sweet Baby may have messed with or touched with or had any work in, has been saved by Valve themselves. The
yep.
great Gabe has descended from the heavens and said it's a-okay. Actually,
By the way, I'm not sure how much I believe that Valve is. They might have been a client of theirs at one time, but I wonder how much of that client list is accurate.
Well, the client list is made up of anyone they've ever actually consulted with. Now, does it mean that they're currently consulting with them? No. But it means they were at one point. They were actually contracted to consult with them at one point. So, yeah, there's that.
Also, people when this was in debate whether Valve was going to take them down, holy shit, the backlash I saw when that was up in the air, it was like the world's biggest shitstorm was stirring against Steam. People were ready to uninstall Steam and look for a new hosting service. Like I was
There
like,
isn't much.
I mean, I know there isn't much, but people were ready to look.
It's
And I
like,
was like,
listen, if
oh
people
my
are
God.
willing to move to Epic, you might want to reverse course on whatever it is you were doing.
Yeah. Because I'm like, wow.
Nah, but
That's
this is definitely Gamergate 2.0 fully in full swing. And it's funny because at one point in time I did comment somewhere, I think to you, and when we were talking about something, it's like, whatever happened to these people? We hadn't seen them in a long time.
yeah. I figured they just
And now we know where they all went. They've been
Yeah.
here. They've just been in the shadows this whole time.
they
That's
are
why
scum.
Yeah,
They are
like the Baby Ghost is where they've been kind of hiding out at, utilizing companies like Sweet Baby to push their agenda. And we've all strapped on proton packs and we're ghost busting. So,
Yeah. Like, and the funny thing is, now that the grift is up, and oh, by the way, fun fact: this isn't going to be a repeat of Gamergate. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is believing the articles this time.
Well, see, the normies are somewhat involved this time too. Several
Yeah.
of the normies, which we didn't have last time.
Yeah.
But I like this because this is the scummy shit that Kotaku and stuff and other journalists do. No one company isn't forcing diversity on all your favorite video games. This is factual. This really is. The thing is, we know it's not one company, you fucking tard. Like, seriously, it is a multitude of companies.
We got the list.
And one of these companies, I can't remember which one it was, but I looked into it. It should not be on this list. Shit, who was it? I can't remember. Anyway, but yeah, it's things like Sweet Baby, Black Girls Gamer. They're the ones who did Forsaken. You've got Anita down here. We know that one full well, and several others. But you got Infinite Ammo, which apparently funds Weird Ghost and supports Sweet Baby Inc. Gamma Space, which is another one. Essentially, it's like all these shell companies, right?
Yeah. Which, by the way, isn't that
Which all feed into the same thing.
Isn't that fraudulent, by the way?
No, it's not.
I thought there was something about. Okay.
No, shell companies are allowed. It's a U.S. thing. It's fine.
No. I'm not talking about like the shell company itself. I'm talking about like the deal with the money and how they move money between them.
No, because if you got Infinite Ammo and it's collecting money, depending on how it's set up, it can feed money into other organizations. Some
Okay.
organizations, and it can feed them in, like, say, donations if it's a nonprofit.
Okay.
And support through other things, while others are subsidiaries to them, like Baby or Sweet, or is it Sweet Baby is a subsidiary of, I'm sorry, Baby Ghost is the subsidiary of Weird Ghost. But Baby Ghost fed money to Sweet Baby to get it off the ground because it is technically it was doing a scholarship type thing, right?
I always find this whole baby.
Yeah, the baby,
creepy.
the naming thing is really creepy, which is indicative to a lot of pedophiles. So it is what it is, and I'm sure they're fine with that sort of thing. But this is my opinion. I'm not calling them definite fact pedophiles or anything, but it's just weird.
But I wouldn't be opposed to somebody
Bragging.
investigating their hard drives either.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed if, say hypothetically somebody investigated their their stuff. But yeah, like this is fact, but it's not what we're saying, right?
Yeah.
Which of course leads me to the other thing that I don't have because apparently none of us posted it. Is the amount of people who I've never really seen before suddenly show up in my Twitter timeline talking about how if, say, like Samus Metroid was released today and then Samus was shown to be a woman, we would all scream it was forced diversity.
Yeah, I saw that. I was
I
like,
don't
what?
know. Oh, go on.
No, I was just like, I saw that and I was like, what the fuck are you going on about? By the way, give me like 1 second. I can pull that up.
Yeah, I mean it's not too far down in there somewhere, but they keep saying things like that, and it's like, the fuck are you smoking? Nobody, and I mean nobody, has made that argument ever. No, nobody has looked at a female protagonist in current day and said, "Yep, forced diversity." No, it's the other flags in it. We've talked about the poor storyline, like for instance, Suicide Squad. We didn't look at Suicide Squad kills the Justice League and said, "Female protag, forced diversity, it sucks."
Wrong spot.
I got it. Don't worry. Is this it?
Yep.
Here we go. I have avoided the conversation around Sweet Baby Inc. for so long, but now it's getting out of hand. Basically, when a game is being made, some people will hire them to help them out with
All
writing.
right, who the hell is this guy?
Design of certain types of characters. Spoiler alert, it usually involves stories and characters that isn't the default. Now, anti-woke people caught wind of this and they flock to it like flies on a turd. They'll tell you that they're the reason why Kill the Justice League and Arkham Knight are bad games. They'll say they're the reason why Spider-Man is dating a deaf woman, why Joel lost in golf, and why
No, why Spider-Man is dating a deaf woman is because these kind of people infest Marvel and DC. They're the ones writing the comics, which is why the comics have failed so bad, because they can't write compelling stories anymore. That's why that is happening.
Also,
Why is Sweet Baby involved with Suicide Squad? Wasn't it that one that they were touting around being lead writers in?
Yeah.
So, yes, they would be directly involved in that one. And anyway,
why they can't edge to their favorite characters. And it all sounds ridiculous because
really,
they're the reason why Spider-Man is dating a deaf
listen to
woman,
this.
why Joel lost in golf, and why they can't edge to their favorite characters.
Really? Is that what he just said?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding? We're back to the Gamergate arguments again, aren't we?
Yep.
Nobody cares whether or not you can masturbate to the fucking character, for fuck's sake, guys. That's not what we're doing, okay?
And it all
Sure, those people exist. They're not the majority.
sounds ridiculous because from the bottom of my heart, it is. But they won't mention that they worked on games like God of War Ragnarok, Alan Wake 2. They won't tell you precisely what they worked on. What pieces of dialogue did they add to what game and how? Because they don't know. It's not public knowledge. Some of the clowns are even going as far as to say they're the reason for the layoffs, which makes no sense.
Okay. The reason for the layoffs is because companies hire a bunch of people, way too many people, and then they have to get rid of them.
Alternatively, they hire a
Because-
bunch of bloat.
Yeah, they
yeah.
they hire a bunch of bloat and then they produce a shit game that flops. Or second. And then they scream, "Why is everybody so racist?" Oh, by the way, we need to lay off 1,000 of you.
And why was it a shit game?
Because those
of
people infested the system.
because of the consulting company that wrote in that shit dialogue or those concepts.
Sense. If you're still confused as to why something like this would exist, let me break it down to you. Let's say I'm a young black gamer who lives in Los Angeles. So I start a service to say, yo, if you come up with a
You
character
ain't young, bro.
that involves a young black gamer who lives in Los Angeles, you should talk to me about it because I kind of know what that's like. So someone's creating a movie and they say, yo, we have this character who's a young black gamer who lives in Los Angeles. Would he wear something like this in the winter? I can then look at that character and say,
Pause
add
it.
a little bit more drip here, add some drip there. Even though it's winter, we don't need
Please
a puff
pause
jacket.
it.
We're chilling. They say, all right, bet, move on. Second scenario, a show comes out. They say, yo, we got this character who's a young black gamer in Los Angeles. Would he say something like this? I say, we kind of over pronunciate our R's a little bit more. So it wouldn't be brother, it'd be brother. Now, those movies, those shows, they come out. Some of them might still be trash. Some of them might be hits, but I did my job. The rest is up to them. That's essentially what Sweet Baby Inc. does. That is in no way, shape, form, or fashion an issue with gaming. And it has in fact helped us get
Bro,
more
that's
interesting.
fucking racist.
Or else every character in the video game will still be like Aiden Pierce from Watch
Pause
Dogs.
it, please. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, that shit from fashion an issue with gaming. And it has in fact helped us get more interesting, better characters. Or else every character in the video game will still be like Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs or Oh Boy from Days Gone. Sorry.
My bad. He
What?
literally stereotyped African Americans. He stereotyped black people. Smol. You better start wearing black folk clothing in the winter.
Only if you're in LA during that. But
Okay.
anyway,
Yeah.
But Chad, I don't
The-
live in Detroit.
Boy.
first off, games were naturally diverse before these fuckers came along. All
Yeah.
right. We had strong females, we had strong males, we had good character writings, not all, but some. We had good stories, we had good mechanics, we had good gameplay. What has brought it down? People pushing life service shit in the wrong spot. People using FOMO. People making shit dialogue, consulting shit companies for shit dialogue, giving these shit companies more than they should in terms of power and what they're able to do. That's what happened.
By the way, when I posted my reply to this, I didn't even see this ending part. I was just replying to the Samus aspect of it and the female aspect. Oh god, there was so much more I could have said.
Yeah, but anyway, just this idea that I keep seeing it pop up though. If Samus was a real woman today, they would call it Force. No, they wouldn't. If Metroid didn't exist and it came out today and it was still a good, fun game like it has been, because if I remember correctly, the last Metroid, Metroid Dread, people loved it. It wouldn't have mattered whether or not Samus was a man or a woman. What is the problem is when you get these progs out here, these smooth brains, right? That come out and say, well, Samus is actually trans. And let's go ahead and start, pinging the creator 5,000 times to force him to come out and agree with us. That is the forced diversity.
I got
And
an
then there
idea.
are now telltale signs for that shit, like the shaved head haircut. When we looked at Saints Row, the new one, we looked at that cast and said, yeah, this is going to be forced diversity bullshit. And you know what it was? Forced diversity bullshit. Nobody wants to play Saints Row where your biggest thing is having to deal with student debts. It's not a Saints Row game. That is literally just stealing the Saints Row title, putting it on The Sims, and making a worst version of it that's a story.
We can now, and they love saying, well, you didn't play the game. How would you know? It's like, because we can see. We see red flags. We see shaved.
Exactly.
We
Like,
see the side of the female character's head shaved. No. We see colored hair. Well, poisonous animals use bright colors to warn others. No.
but the point is, we've seen enough of it that we can see telltale signs in the games when they're being developed and they're getting released. Like Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. When I first heard about that and stuff, I was like, that may not be a bad game. And
Oh boy.
when it comes down to it, if done right, it could have been a banger of a game, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Instead, they took the lore that existed in DC and shoved it up somebody's ass and forgot that it existed, broke the lore, did it horribly. Hell, the biggest parts to that game that should be shown aren't shown. They're given to you in audio logs, and part of it's not even in the fucking audio logs. And it's just like, those are the biggest parts of this game that should be show and tell. I mean, show and not tell. And it's not even in there because nobody could be bothered to deal with it. That's why it was a shit game. It wasn't just because it's a live service game, because live service games inherently aren't bad. It's how they're implemented. Because if it was that live service equals bad, because that's another thing that people keep throwing around, right? Live service
Helldivers is
equals
live
bad.
service. That's amazing.
Helldivers would not be doing good right now. Path of Exile would have died a long time ago. Final Fantasy XIV wouldn't be okay. WoW wouldn't be okay, even though it has its own fucking problems. There are live service games that exist today that are doing fantastic, phenomenal, great banger of a job. It's how it's implemented. Fortnite's another one that's doing a banger of a job, implemented correctly. But things like Kill the Justice League, not so much. Not only is it bad gameplay, For one, it's a horrible story. They piss on the lore. They piss on the characters, or at least one of them, literally.
And
And
it
that
doesn't even make sense.
and, and that actually isn't the bad part. I can see the bad guy pissing on the Flash after killing the Flash. I can see that as an actual thing that they would want to do.
But see, that's the thing.
But
It doesn't make
everything
sense.
around it sucks so bad that it
But it
makes
doesn't
it
make sense for
worse.
it to be the Flash. It could be any other of the superheroes, and it would have
Who
made sense.
pissed on the Flash?
Hmm?
Who pissed on the Flash? I can't remember.
Boomerang.
Was it Boomerang?
Ooh.
That's why. Because Captain Boomerang and the Flash go way back. That's why Captain Boomerang would have had a reason to piss on the Flash.
But see,
That's
the thing
why.
is, even Captain Boomerang in the actual lore, thing they don't give a damn about,
Yeah.
still wasn't as hostile to the Flash as he would have been to like any of the other ones.
No, but they do have history, so I can see that. Like if it was a good story and good gameplay, I could see Captain Boomerang pissing on the Flash's corpse. I really could. But that's the problem. It suffered absolutely everywhere across the board. And then
And-
they came out and took credit for that suckage.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
the
why
thing-
we can point to it and attribute it to them and say, you're the fucking reason.
And here's another problem I've seen just in general. This is not just baby, sweet baby. This is just everywhere. AAA gaming. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull this up on the fly. It'll take me 1 second, but it is worth noting because it is just such a absurd thing that has happened in gaming that it's mind-boggling. Give me just 1 second. Why is it further? There it is. Hi, Rough Nut. You really want to knock over this can, don't you? Rough Nut,
Rough Nut's a rebel.
Rough Nut, I can't see through you, kitty. Come here. There you go. There it is. Okay. I want to send this to you.
All right.
Maybe. Rough Nut.
Okay, well, since we got time.
Okay. So
Oh, sorry.
you're looking at somebody who was able to make better looking characters who is not.
God, that character is even rougher than I remember.
Yeah. Who was able to make better looking characters in a AAA studio, and you're telling me, oh, there's nothing wrong with gaming? Bull fucking shit. And this is the one I commented on specifically. This guy made a better looking Mary Jane. Mary Jane's supposed to be a fucking model. They made Mary Jane
Shit,
look like
oh god.
they
Anyway.
made Mary Jane look like a fucking middle-aged cat lady. As I'm holding a cat, shut up.
Cat man. But yeah, I mean, it's because of companies like this that you get things like this.
And by the way,
Right.
the models for these characters are actually attractive women that they uglify.
Must be. I don't know, because holy fuck, that's a transformation. Yeah, that looks way better on the right. But yeah, this is what you're getting out of AAA studios. This is what you should be getting out of AAA studios. Japan knows this. Japan understands it. That's why Chad was running around doing the whole in Japan versus in the US kind of thing.
Japan's the new Western. What the West used to be is what Japan has become. And what we have become, I'm going to say, is the puritanical Middle East when it comes to entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, this is right here. This sums it all up.
Yeah.
Because this is always the argument they always go back to. Like, even the dude right there that we were listening to is like, because you couldn't edge to it. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like, dude, look what
That's
they
not
did
the
to
thing. That's not the
Joker.
issue.
Looks
Yes,
terrible. I'm not
yes, we
jerking off
like
to the Joker.
we like to look at pretty things. I got it. We all do, men and women, right?
Yeah.
I would be choosing the Mel model over this, definitely, to look at. But I don't think that's a win in any way, shape, or form. Force me to want to choose the Mel model in a Fable game because you've made the female model so god awful ugly.
I will say this on the second picture. I'm not a fan of the face.
Yeah, I'm not either. But it's whatever.
I think
This
that
one was
last
pretty good, though.
picture is
That one is
the
amazing. Like I
Yeah.
really feel like that is that Sonya, I think? I'm not
But
familiar with Mortal
the
Kombat
Mortal
characters.
Kombat went through and pretty much did the same thing with all their shit too, which
I'm
kinda
trying to remember what
sucks.
Mortal Kombat character that is, but like I can picture that being a Mortal Kombat character. This is what Mary Jane shouldn't be and what should be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
But it's companies like Sweet Baby, like for instance, the Spider-Man example he brought up, right? The reason why Miles Morales has a deaf girlfriend is because, the idiots over at DC and Marvel and stuff, the comic book companies have decided that. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. The problem is when you're playing a Spider-Man game, and then you have to hold all momentum of the game to run around as his deaf girlfriend to go tag shit. I'm playing Spider-Man to play as Spider-Man, not his girlfriend, not his sister, not his mother, not his brother. To play as Spider-Man, not Spooderman. If I wanted to play as Spooderman, I would have went and bought Spooderman.
Zio, did you hear in the new Spider-Man you get to play as Aunt May baking a cake?
Sounds about right. Oh, no, it can't be Aunt May baking a cake because that is sexist.
No,
Chad.
don't worry. She's now a transvestite black woman.
No, she's a trans man. Non-binary black something.
Yeah.
But anyway, transvestite's also a no word.
It is? I can't keep up.
Yeah, they don't exist anymore as far as the left is concerned.
Oh, that's gonna piss off. That's gonna piss off my uncle.
Well, they're all trans now, so anyone who was it drag queens are all trans too, and cross dressers are all trans. And
I'll let my
different
uncle know he's not allowed to wear his dresses.
time. But yeah, I play Spider-Man to play as Spider-Man, not the supporting cast around him. That's why it sucked. That's why people were complaining about it. They weren't complaining because Miles has a deaf girlfriend. They were complaining because they have to play as Miles' girlfriend doing jack shit. That's why. They were complaining of running around as Mary Jane or whoever, beating up thugs when there should be no logical reason for her to be taking on these adult guys and girls in, Spec Ops gear.
And I'm going to point this out.
Spider-Man can do it, not them.
Forced diversity, right? Okay. Let's talk about Static Shock. You want to talk about Static Shock? Oh, no, because he was a great, unique, original
Static
character.
Shock. Good, continue.
He was a great, unique, original character that was black. Let's talk about John Stewart. He was the Green Lantern. He was part of the Green Lantern Corps because there's multiple of them. There's not a Spider-Man Corps.
Well, there's Spider-Verse, but
that was recently added, and we know that was to justify Miles Morales. That's the problem. The Green Lantern Corps
I
was
got no problem with that too. That's the sad part is that works for me because we've already established multiverse a long time ago.
yeah, and that's the thing is I was getting to that was saying that Miles is a good character, and the reason I'm not a fan of the whole multiverse thing is because they use it too much to shoehorn in concepts that
Yeah,
they don't really need to. Honestly, if they wanted to, in my opinion, you know what they could have done? And I think they did it great with the Miles Morales movie. I think it's the initial movie, where they had Spider-Man, Peter Parker as an older guy, kind of
yeah.
passing the torch on to Miles Morales. If I'm remembering right.
I'll correct you. Don't worry. Just continue.
Okay. And then, like, I'm a sucker for the passing of the torch trope. That's why I
Yeah.
liked the Ghostbusters film
Afterlife.
so much because it was a passing of the torch to a younger generation. Kind of reminded me of the new Ghostbusters cartoon way back in the day, which was like a whole different team, and the old team was
Extreme.
retiring. Huh?
Ghostbusters Extreme.
Extreme. That's what it was.
Who,
But
by
anyway.
the way, for those idiots out there who don't realize this, Ghostbusters Extreme, 1990s cartoon. It was it 90s? I think it was 90s,
It was 90s.
early 2000s, somewhere in there. Had Ghostbusters, right? They
Yep.
had like there was 4 of them, right? One was
Yep.
a woman, and one, or was it 3? Was it 3 of them plus
No, it's
Egon?
4.
Anyway, one was a woman, one was a guy in a fucking wheelchair. Diversity existed.
Yeah.
Back then. It was already there, and
And
it
it
wasn't
wasn't
forced.
forced.
Anyway, so to go on the little tangent real quick, Static Shock, I love him. I want Static fucking Shock. That's it.
100% agree.
Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse is the second one with Miles Morales, and that's where you get, I think, Peter Parker. No, wait. Yeah, I guess you get the older Peter Parker in the first one, but in the second one, he's got his daughter with him.
Okay.
I think. So he's gotten, he's got a kid now. But the whole multiverse thing, it's been established lore for a very long time. It's why we had like or Crisis on Infinite Earths and things like that, and all these different Marvel/DC properties. We've established the multi-Earth thing. And, I like Miles Morales as a Spider-Man. I absolutely love him as Spider-Man. He's great. He's unique. He's different. He's not Peter. Usually when we do these multiverse, it's another version of Peter, right? Or something to that. It's a different version of Logan or a different version of somebody. Anyway, from the multiverse. And, it was fresh to have Miles Morales and to use the multiverse as a way to explain his existence, because that was the biggest concern of people was how do you explain Miles and Peter at the same time? Are you just writing Peter out and retconning or what? Alternate world. Got it. That's great. But I love the thing I hate about Miles is he doesn't really have his own unique villains other than like the Spot and one other guy that I can't remember his name. And he needs his own unique villains. He doesn't need to be fighting Rhino or Doc Ock or his version of Doc Ock. He needs his own special villains, which is why I like the movie they did, which is Enter the Spider-Verse, and I'm waiting for the next one. So spoiler alert, if nobody wants to know this. Everybody cool? I'm going to spoil shit real quick.
I'm cool.
Okay. Near the end of the movie, he gets sent back to his original, or the original Earth that the spider that bit him came from. Okay, because due to certain things, he got bit by an alternate Earth spider, which means that Earth had no Spider-Man. Okay, He gets transported there thinking he went back to his Earth, and then found out that is not his Earth. And he found out the hard way by getting knocked out and then strung up. And then he comes face to face with his alternate ego, which is a supervillain. It's good. It's their main supervillain that had took over the entire city at that point, and crime was running rampant because they had no Spider-Man to keep him in check. And then he went the supervillain route somehow.
So evil Spider-Man, basically.
And it's kind of it's like a version of Kraven the Hunter, but not at the same time, so it works.
Okay.
But
that's what I'm saying. Like, Miles is a good character.
They need more of that
Yeah.
when it comes to it.
I just think that, like, you're right. They need more, and they need to make unique. They need to make characters that aren't writing other characters. Like, Miles was I'm going to be honest, Miles was just different enough that he stood out. But if they made a truly unique character and actually didn't try to put in some sort of ideology behind it, just a straight good story of good versus evil, all you need, it would sell like no tomorrow. They can't do it. They can't not self-insert.
Yeah. Which is why you wind up with Spider-Man 2 and have boring missions that you have to slog through.
Well, that Mary Jane fixer is somebody on the team. Somebody found that out. Like they took mocap of a beautiful woman, and then somebody threw that out and put themselves as the person, as the MJ.
I'm not surprised.
They literally fan fiction themselves into the fucking game.
Not surprised. But anyway, point is, anyway, yeah, I forgot. I've lost myself now. Anyway, does anybody else have anything to say about this?
I don't. So the second panel, top right, I think that's the least worst one of them all.
Oh, you mean as far as the original?
Yeah, I'm talking about the one on the left.
This one here is just weird and unsettling for me.
Yeah.
The side on the right is just unsettling because it just doesn't belong there. I'm
extremely
sorry.
Uncanny.
The one on the left is bearable for a muscle-cladded woman, I guess.
Yeah, the one on the right is just a little
Yeah. Now, over here, the one on the right looks like something they could have easily put into the game.
Yeah.
Instead, they gave us the thing on the left. And then over here, it's the same thing for Mortal Kombat. I feel like somebody just took her old model and, rendered it better.
Yeah.
And then right here, it's the same deal as, the previous one. This absolutely could have been in the game. Instead, we got this monstrosity right here that looks like she's 40, 50, 60, 50 years old or something. 40 something, 43.
Mid-40s, owns like 5 cats.
Yeah.
Taking a photo shoot for a dating app, hoping she's going to get some poor sucker to pay for her single.
Forgot to use her filter is what happened.
Yeah. Filter with the right sides with the filters on.
Right sides with filter on. But yeah.
Your brain still broken, Zia?
Yeah, it's broken at this point. Plus, I need to think about going to bed. It's almost 11.
Yep. I gotta get my stream going for
anything else to add, Small?
I know,
Oh,
Small.
shoot.
You up for Helldivers, or are you going to bed?
I got work at 6 in the morning.
All
I
Me
right.
can
too.
probably come for one op, but that's about it.
Nah, you should get some sleep then.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, everybody thanks Small for coming. We should do this again next Friday, Small.
This was fun.
See, this is what it's about. It's fun. We
Yeah.
just talk about shit. We argue occasionally, and
Talk
then we
shit
move
about other
on.
people.
Especially Microsoft.
Oh.
Yeah. We can do Microsoft. In the Guilded, there is a thing called Salt Mines 2.0. If you find something, it goes there, and we can talk about it on Friday. So
Okay.
that's what that is for. So if you find something you want to talk about on Friday, that's where you put it, so we can then bring it up and do this sort of thing again.
Well, shit. I guess I will post some stuff there because I know of a few things.
All right then. Well, this has been Gaming with a Side of Salt number 10. I am Zio,
I am D-Pad Chat.
and then Small Mimic is down below. All our links are down in the description down below to
Except
all our
mine.
stuff, except for Small's because his was left to be determined and never got filled. So
Never got determined.
never got determined.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm even gonna start content creation.
It's all good.
I'm busy enough with work at the moment as it is. My schedule's kind of wonky with since starting training for my new role.
But yeah, so we do this every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So again, also if there's anything you want us to talk about, hit us up on Twitter X or something, and we can then put it in the Gilded chat and we can go over it then. Until then, we will see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.